There was an instance, there was a devotee. In the beginning, they were mostly Grihastha devotees. And they came to Prabhupada and they were serving him. And they were very attached to Prabhupada. Very, very attached to Prabhupada. And then what happened that one of them, the husband, there was something called draft board. A draft board means you are forced to join the army. When the Vietnam War was happening, your call will come, you have to do service in the army, compulsory, they passed a law. So his call came and he was very sad, very, very sad, completely disappointed. I don't know what he has to do, where he has to go and fight, will he come back or not, will he die, will he survive in Krishna consciousness in that atmosphere. He was very, very worried. So his wife was there also. And Govinda Dasi, and she has put up some work for recollections of Prabhupada times. So it was really very nice. So then what happened was she proposed. They both were very sad. Prabhupada said when he was going, "Don't worry, Krishna will protect you." So he went chanting and all of that. And then by the evening, surprisingly, he came back. So the devotees were shocked. How it has happened. He went to the draft board for interview and all, and by evening he is back. Generally you go inside. He said, no, I was waiting, so I was chanting what to do. I was praying to Krishna, saying. And the person who, they were noticing me, and he is referred to the psychiatrist. And psychiatrist says, I'm mad. They sent me back. So you see, this is how it is. So when he came back, Prabhupada said, yes, Krishna has saved you. Somehow Krishna is bad, this guy is mad. You're not mad, but this is how the material world is. So in the material world, now connecting to this shloka here, the spiritualist should, his whole endeavor is to acquire what is known as Daivi Sampat, and there is something called Asuri Sampat. Essence Prabhupada is given here of the shloka. Now people in this world, therefore many times a devotee should not imitate a cult. You should be very careful. Because devotee's business is to acquire spiritual assets. Because that will go with you. Correct? It will go from this life to next life. What will go? Spiritual assets. What is spiritual assets? The faith that I have developed in Krishna. And it's not, we think there is so much variety in the material world. There is so much variety in the material world. Spiritual world, when we are talking about realization of Krishna, is full of varieties. It is just like we discussed many times, like ornaments person can keep in his heart about different aspects of glories of Krishna. They touch the heart of a devotee and he collects and he keeps them. And if he has those assets, he can share also. That is what Prabhupada did. He was just sharing. Correct? And so many people came to him, Prabhupada was sharing the assets of spiritual realization in his heart. And they were amazed. How that man, ordinary man, 5 feet tall, 5 feet maybe a little more. But how is it like when Prabhupada came back to America, he had gone to India, how much they cried. They said, we just like aeroplane we were sitting in the plane, and Prabhupada said, I'm going back to Vrindavan. If I recover, I'll come back, otherwise I'll go to Krishna's lotus feet. And the devotees could not just take this. They were crying and crying and crying. Prabhupada went back. They were daily praying for Prabhupada to come back. They're saying, we were remembering in Krishna book when Prabhupada says, when the gopis were, waiting, when the... Why? What was Krishna giving or what was Prabhupada giving? They were giving them Devi Sampat, which he had. So if we have Devi Sampat, look at it. Correct? People will become mad. And when Prabhupada came back, they were like, that kirtan is maybe the most ecstatic kirtan in his history. Devotees became so happy to see him. And Prabhupada came back and he was looking at them, waving. So the very thing we're looking at Prabhupada, so much affection and compassion he has. That is also touching. So much affection and compassion. They arranged for big reception for Prabhupada there. And another thing which I wanted to say is that how much not only a devotee is full of spiritual assets, spiritual life is full of variety. Full of variety. When Prabhupada came back, he was talking to each devotee, asking about his welfare. So much variety is there. It's not like a dry thing. And then for each devotee, Prabhupada brought with him one Indian trunk, the big side Indian trunks. They're not used to that Indian, they have suitcases, Prabhupada was still using those. Maybe in Vrindavan he purchased one another, like big trunks, steel trunks, but they are not used to that kind of trunk. Big size. And he opened it and he was giving everybody one gift. And not only that, it was, some devotees in India had packed those gifts, written a name also for whom that gift is. First thing, Prabhupada did so patiently, threw all the slips aside, all the pins aside, and by his own choice he was giving. They say it was bewildering to us that the lady devotees, they say that the man has only 3 colors, red, white, blue. Ladies have 100 colors. This color. Generally man is not so conscious about colors and all. Women side are more conscious. So Prabhupada, in giving dress to women, he had even noticed which color they like, because he has been seeing them previously. And he says, therefore spiritual life is full of varieties. He said, he gave me a sari, I could not even imagine. How does he know this is the choice of my color? Prabhupada is noticing everything. You're getting the point? Is that people are stuck in the material world, correct? And they completely, he is conscious, or this is Krishna's guidance, exactly what we wanted. Everybody had a sari, he has a gift for everybody. And this was so amazing. He used to reach out to the person exactly knowing the person. So anyway, the main point here was what was Prabhupada giving them so much that to this day they remember Prabhupada, they pray to Prabhupada, they see him in dreams, correct? Spiritual lesson. So our life should also be for Devi Sampat. If you give Devi Sampat, first thing you should have it. You know, there is one statement Prabhupada makes, I discussed last time also. Prabhupada said, history will note Krishna conscious movement saved the world. But the point is, first we save ourselves. So for ourselves, our focus should be Devi Sampat. And look at the point that the spiritual issue is so serious about it. The point is, we are so eager to get Krishna that Lakshmana Goswami is giving an example that we should not waste our time into anything else. And Prabhupada says, unless somebody is eager to get Devi Sampat and distribute Devi Sampat, he should not live on the cost of other life people. That is what it will come in. Are the trees not? Because actually, particularly in North India, it has not been so badly abused in South India. South India, you don't have a door-to-door, sadhus are coming, mathas are there, they're living peacefully there. And there is a respect for the sadhus in South India because they are not behave so badly. In North India, it's much more. You go to the holy places, you don't have it in South India. You go to Udupi, you go to Tirupati, they don't do like that. You go to North India, they run behind you and chase you, harass you. We are what they say, Brajavasis, we are Brahmanas, so many things they will tell and harass, and people feel because and finally when you look at their life, they are interested in Aswari Sampat. They have no Daiva Sampat. Their ancestors were actually having Daiva Sampat. And Prabhupada said these pandas are very useful in a holy place, actually, if they're genuine. Because if you go to some, say, people visit, so many, what do you call them, those places? You visited near Madurai, you are telling. 108, they call it. Divyadesham. Now, if you go to, say, a place, holy place, a Divyadesham, this is a Shri Vaishnavas, we respect, it's a bona fide sampradaya. And you go to you don't know anything about that place. Now, if somebody is there in the place, he explains everything. And not only that, a dry explanation, he has Daiva Sampat. You hearing him, you feel so much pain for, say, Ramanujacharya or Lakshmi, that is a parampara, correct? Or Narayana. You feel so happy. So you feel, who is to ask? Going itself, you will happily give dakshina. That's how these pandas were there previously. Now today their descendants have come, that is called, they have no Daiva Sampat with them. So they know it will not work. Nothing they are going to get. And neither they have anything to tell. They just harass, collect money. It is not so much in South India. North India, if there is any holy place, you will have this problem. You go to a holy place for bath, behind you 5 people will run. And before you know, they'll keep some flower in your hand, prayers will start up. They say, Godan is over. What is it? And they will make you chant, Godan, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So it's unfortunate. Prabhupada said these people are making the holy place unholy by their presence. They are not giving any benefit to any person. In fact, Bhaktivinoda Thakur had put them all in the right place when he was one of the biggest places where people are harassed at Jagannath Puri. Prabhupada, Bhaktivinoda Thakur had put them in the right place. But we need an administrator like that. Generally the governments are too weak and they have no courage. So what is important is Daivi Sampat. And our ambition of life is to get Daivi Sampat. In fact, Prabhupada writes in his Vrindavana Bhajana, and we did talk about that. He said that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission was so great. There is no comparison to this mission of the Lord. And then what happened, the descendants, after some time, what happened to the descendants was that they, slowly, after a few generations, say 200, 300 years later, not everybody, but many of them lost their Devi Sampat. They became what is, and then you look, see, suppose I have a Devi Sampat, then naturally there is love for Prabhupada manifest in the heart. But then externally you have to show love. Now that becomes, there is Devi Sampat remaining. Nobody is becoming attached to Prabhupada by hearing it. Because you don't have, how can you give? So that is what happened. They have no attachment to Krishna and Lord Chaitanya. And then these people became caste Brahmanas. Exactly same thing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dismantled in his time. What did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu do? He dismantled the caste Brahmana system. He said, you all chant Hare Krishna mantra, go back to Krishna. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did actually. Great contribution. There is no need to search for so-called caste Brahmana to bless you. You all sit down, chant Hare Krishna, and wherever you are situated, read Krishna Katha, go back to Krishna. Not through a caste Brahmana. Maybe a guru, but not through a caste Brahmana. Nothing to do with the caste. But there some people came, they called themselves Nityananda Vamsha. We are the descendants of Lord Nityananda, and we are the ones who are the only can guide you spiritually. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, I think, was the first person to reject this Nityananda Vamsha. And then it went on. And Prabhupada also wrote so much against it. This thing. So Prabhupada says in Vrindavana Bhajana. Again, it has become like caste Goswamis. It was so sad. What is all this? So, Devi Sampad is, and a person who has Devi Sampad actually is fully dependent on the Lord. Prabhupada said there are two things in life. One thing is Daya, one thing is Seva. If we have Devi Sampad, we are interested in Seva, not Daya. Daya get lost, we are not interested in Daya. Daya we depend on Krishna. Krishna is Daya. We don't want to public Daya. No, we are not interested in that. Yes, person feels, yes, here is the right place, Krishna is served, Seva is fine. So person should not be, that is another area, and people go begging door to door and people feel Daya, this person looks hungry. Somebody, and that has become the picture. One devotee told me he was sitting in the train and chanting Hare Krishna loudly. One person came and asked, are you hungry? Because that is a while, that is when they chant. I don't know how much here you see in the house, there will come people and they will start their big bhajana. You bring one 5 rupee bhajana over, because for that it was. They make so much noise, just like this, the people dance here. So much noise they make. Basically it is, you give us money. The bhajana is for getting money. There is no other intention. Not for pleasing Krishna. And so Prabhupada also therefore many times explained this point to the devotees. Our bhajana is for the Krishna's pleasure. The empty, Prabhupada said, the 4 walls are hearing when nobody is there. In the beginning what happened, devotees were organizing Prabhupada lectures in big auditoriums. And making people buy tickets so that somehow they were trying different ideas. And many times it happened, nobody came. The movement was very new at that time. So at that moment, Prabhupada said, doesn't matter, I'll speak to 4 walls. My Guru has said, if nobody comes, you speak to the 4 walls. Like that. So they were trying everything. But it was a very sweet group. And very enthusiastic. They were very enthusiastic. And kind of affection that Prabhupada gave them, that melted their heart. Prabhupada had an affection, transcendental affection. I was reading recently, there was one devotee, and he was helping Prabhupada in the translation work that was going on. Prabhupada told him to translate these books to French. So he was every day sitting, first understanding the philosophy. Therefore Prabhupada did not want translation of karmis. You see, any time Prabhupada ordered devotees to translate the books. Because if they don't know the essence, just dry word ABCD, they will mess up the meaning and neither they will be bhakti in their purpose. So Prabhupada explained to him the whole intricacy of the philosophy. They are new people and his understanding, and he was started working on the French translation. But his wife was horrible, terrible. She will not even sit like all devotees sit on the floor. Just at the back of the room there was a big sofa, even higher than Prabhupada's, and she will sit there and devotees try to preach to her. No, if Krishna exists, I only want a lot of money from him. The devotee is very depressed in that. His wife is like that. Finally, he went away to some place and he was working on the book translation. One day he wrote a letter to Prabhupada. Prabhupada received the letter and the devotees say, they went to Prabhupada. Prabhupada was so sad. I saw Prabhupada sitting very sad. So we entered the room and we asked Prabhupada, what happened? Why you are so sad? Prabhupada said, he's asking me how much you will pay me for this. So Prabhupada said, What is this? Asking money from Guru? Prabhupada was, very, very, very disappointed. And he was very hurt that the very spirit is not there of service. And Prabhupada says he has been spoiled by his wife. And I'm so sad. I was having hopes this person will take to Krishna consciousness because this work will happen. If not, somebody else will do. It's not a big deal. But the point is, look at the spirit. Prabhupada was not looking at him like a translator. He was looking at him as a devotee who can, save himself by Krishna consciousness. So this was the mood always Prabhupada had. Whenever devotees used to come to him, Prabhupada used to say, it is not my business to make disciples or followers. But voluntarily people are coming forward. That's the essence. You see the essence here he has got. Voluntarily people are coming forward to assist me in serving this mission. Therefore there is a system of disciples and followers. You got the point? The essence is Prabhupada has a mission. And a person feels, yes, I want to assist Prabhupada in this mission. And therefore, definitely the relationship is Shishya. They don't know anything. They have to learn first. There was one fantastic story they were telling in Hawaii. There was one devotee. And the devotees were, they were doing kirtan every day. And every day they used to do Harinam in public. And people used to gather. So what happened when they were doing kirtan? One person came to them. His name was Sai. So he came and he was, all his followers also came. He had hundreds of followers. Very popular yoga guru. His age is in early 20s, but very popular. He had huge estates, lot of money, and popular person, young boy, teaching yoga. And this is something Vedic. People are chanting Hare Krishna. This is in some place in America, 50th state of America. This is Hawaii. They are all chanting Hare Krishna. These devotees and these people, something Vedic. So he brought his followers. They all sat in mats all around. And they are sitting in whatever yoga posture. And their kirtan is going on. And then finally, after the kirtan, they are saying, Oh Vishnupad, Varos, Premadhani, they are saying. And all these followers and their fellow together, Oh. He said, some of the people are so upset. My husband, he ran away. What nonsense. These people, because we know this is, so these people are still hung up to this, Ashtanga Yoga. So, but I took a chance and I talked to that person. He was a young boy, very polite and sweet. He had no negative thoughts about this. Something very great. So I gave him Prabhupada Bhagavad Gita. I said, you can read this. Our address is there. You can visit us like this. You can also chant Hare Krishna. So just next 2 days later, he came to a center and participated in the kirtan and everything. And read the books. He said, I want to be initiated by Prabhupada. I was amazed because such a famous man. And then what happened was that Prabhupada initiated him by post. Generally, most of the initiation happened by post. So Prabhupada cannot travel every place, correct? To initiate each and every person. He used to never wait for that. He said, on the recommendation of the whoever the authority there, president, he'll initiate him. And so Prabhupada came much later, and then in the airport they had a grand reception. Not like what I had previous years. Now they have exploded. They had a beautiful center, everything. And then what happened when Prabhupada came, they all fell at the bed. That person also fell at the bed. Prabhupada touched his hand over his head. He was blessed. And then he said, I want to join the temple to Prabhupada and want to live like a brahmachari. And not only me, all my disciples want to get initiated from you. So Prabhupada said, I will initiate you. You initiate your disciples. Because they have a relationship with a teacher. He said, no. And he handed to Prabhupada all his estates, all the money, rich boy. They had preaching in say one island, all the islands he had everywhere. He handed over everything to Prabhupada and he lived in the ashram. And that time, because the Prabhupada was personally present, there was a lot of energy in the movement. Temples were filled. Brahmachari ashram like a cow shed, flooded. There is no place. He lived like a brahmachari, even though he was like a big man with estates, with money, with followers. It is not easy to give away. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundari. Everything he had. He gave away everything. He said now his hundreds of followers, where to keep? We have no place in our ashram. So Prabhupada suggested they can go to other centers. So they joined all the different centers in America and mainland, somewhere to other parts of the world also. That like that. This is one of the examples. So, and he became a very nice devotee. His name became Siddha Swarupa later. In fact, Prabhupada had given him by post Harinam initiation. So there was a deities. Now what happened that devotees made deities. There was another big story, how they made Gaunitai deities. And they struggled and somehow they made Gaunitai deities. In fact, when they were making Gaunitai deities, they found out that to make a mold, they didn't know how to make. So they had the state university. They went there. Anybody knows how to make a mold? Their American universities are big. There are all departments. So they found one person who was a Jew. So when he came to know they are making a deity, a vigraha, the Christians, Muslims and Jews have no conception of form. They say idol should not be worshipped. So what is this saying? I'm not interested to participate in it. Just do it at least. For us you do. You're not interested, who is telling you? They said, it's fine, okay, I'll do it for you. So he started guiding them actually how to make the mold and then they can cast on it, whatever work was going on. He helped them to make the Gaunitai deities. And every day they used to give him prasadam. He also became a devotee, joined the temple. Convert. So powerful devotee. And he was in the temple and deities were made. And they made photographs with their, they're all touching the foot of that Gaunitai with the big lotus at the bottom, everything. And Prabhupada was guiding them by letters how to make Gaunitai. This may be the first time Gaunitai was manifest in the movement, at least at Hawaii. And the next thing, they told Prabhupada, send photographs, Gaunitai ready. Prabhupada said, Panchatattva, I want all the 5. They said, my God, they struggled so much to make Gaunitai. They really struggled, They are not sculptors, they are learning. They did everything in very beautiful Gaunitai. Now Prabhupada said Panchatattva. They went ahead, made all those 5 of them. Because mold is not there for everyone is different. And they are hearing from Prabhupada how Advaita Acharya should be. They asked how Lord Chaitanya should be. Should he put him like with the shaved headed or with hairs? Prabhupada said with hairs. Devotees don't worship Lord Chaitanya without hair. It is too painful for them to see Lord Chaitanya with that austerity. For us, it's like bouncer. But devotees have that kind of emotion. They can't say Lord Chaitanya without hair. They always worship him with hairs. Therefore, when Lord Chaitanya was taking sannyasa, devotees cried and cried when his hair was being shaved. The barber refused to shave. His hairs were like, he is Krishna and some Kesha, so beautiful Kesha. So finally, anyway, so they did everything and Prabhupada came. And when Prabhupada came at this point, this boy was already initiated this side. Prabhupada did the installation ceremony and at that time he was giving everybody initiation. Prabhupada gave him Brahman Diksha and Sannyas together. Like that. So therefore, the spirit actually, in an example, if you want to study an example, of somebody who can actually show this. We are looking for an example. Everything is easy to speak. Prabhupada gave an example. When he was living in Vrindavan, he was living peaceful. Same policy. Are there no clothes lying on the street? Same policy. He's peacefully sitting and he's trying. And another point Prabhupada said is that if somebody has Devi Sampat, first thing he will do, he will write that. That will be his contribution. Correct? If we have some realizations in your heart, definitely Prabhupada said every devotee should write. That Prabhupada have that every devotee should write, And many devotees who have, after Prabhupada departure, they have written so much. Every day they write. Some instances Prabhupada, everything they remember. How Prabhupada used to call them address. But devotees should write. Devi Sampat is there. That's what Prabhupada is saying. Very important contribution. In fact, that was the thing Prabhupada talked about. Is God with us many times. He said, they don't write. Because they were just distributing books on the Prabhupada. They were not Prabhupada. Why don't they write? If you have daily Sampada, you should write. That was one of the things Prabhupada. Every devotee should write. In fact, Prabhupada created a magazine for devotees to write. He gave a channel also to them. How to make books at Prabhupada. Not needed. Prabhupada gave a channel. He made an international magazine. He said, all of you write for that. Write articles for that. Generally we see there also just 1 or 2 people's writing. It's every devotee should write. Write his realizations. Every day we are seeing this world, we are seeing people, in different situations. We are seeing people completely entangled by Maya. You see that, and we have some realization, we have some message we should write. Like Krishna's grace, we are not trying to record, spread. Idea is to spread the message. And when you spread the message, Prabhupada said, yes, you read the purports, you read these books, understand, and you repeat in your own language. Okay? The effort should be there to spread the message of Krishna consciousness, and that is our focus. Our focus, again repeating, should not become Asuri Sampath. Just like a man, when he has anything in this world, these material assets, they will go. Just a short matter of time, they will go. Minimum, what I need to just keep my body and comfortable, just to execute Krishna consciousness. That's it. But we should not disproportionately. Prabhupada is using the word very nicely. Disproportionately. Why? Because what is the word in the scripture? Scripture says, we eat to live. Correct? Just to keep the body and soul together. Again and again this has been mentioned. We should take care of our body. That should be the spirit. Like last time, I think, we read that shloka, that basically our intention is that minimum what we need. In the spirit of detachment, not the spirit of being overcome by that object of comfort, we use it for Krishna's pleasure. So this spirit is very important. So this shloka is an example. In fact, is the target for us. We cannot say that we are so renounced, and Prabhupada says that the devotee should never become a parasite for the society. Therefore Prabhupada created actually. Prabhupada says temple should be maintained by book distribution. Temple should be maintained by the dakshina of the people who are regularly hearing it. Maintenance of the temple is not from donation. Because then you become a parasite. You go to public, give money for our maintenance. That's the proper rule of that. In fact, when devotees were in Bombay, so what happened was, Prabhupada said, how do you maintain your Prabhupada, this life membership donation? Prabhupada said, no, you cannot do that. The maintenance of the temple comes from regular donations from congregation and from book sales, like that. You cannot maintain the temple. So at that time, Prabhupada, take a receipt book, go, all these people in the neighborhood in Bombay, correct, little donation, they'll give 50 rupees, 100 rupees. With that, the maintenance should happen. This money that you're getting from donation should be used for furthering this movement of preaching, correct? It's a very nice vision, actually. So in that spirit, things can be understood. Srila Prabhupada ki, Srimad Bhagavatam ki,